Hello and welcome again to Super Nerds UK. As you can see, I'm still a little bit dying, so please forgive me if I cough, sneeze, whatever, grab a tissue for blowing my nose into. Sorry. Okay, moving on. What are we doing this time?
We've had quite a few questions this month.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah,
we've had a decent response, so we're going to answer them today. There's no point asking for your questions if we're not going to answer them. So our first one is from Twitter, and the person also has a YouTube channel. It's called Biggs and Tiggs, and they've asked us two questions in one first, so we'll do the first question. First question is, name your top 5 worst and best games to film adaptations. This should be fun.
This has been a tricky one in some way. We've had quite a few we thought of. We've got a few honourable mentions, I think, haven't we? Do you want to start with yours first?
Well, we just went with the 5.
We went with the 5 altogether.
Right.
We could go on.
So what we'll do, we'll start with always the best one, the funniest ones. We'll go with the worst.
Okay, we'll go with the worst. Right. So worst adaptation of a game, film to game.
So what we'll do, we'll go from 5 to 1. Okay. So number
game
5, we've got Lara Croft.
Yes.
And the Cradle of Life.
The Cradle of Life.
Not
That's
only,
the second one, isn't it?
Yeah, not only an awful film, but an awful title to a film.
Awful title. Jan de Bon, I believe, directed that one.
I'm not sure. And
I think he did.
As soon as I finished, I turned it off. I don't want to watch it.
Oh, well, I think I've watched it once, twice maybe. Well, that's it.
Well, it was a disappointment because the first one wasn't bad.
The first one was actually quite good.
I enjoyed the first one.
As adaptations go, it worked. It was good. You got the feel of it right, I thought, and the action was good.
And then we made the second one and ruined it all. Ruined it all.
Yeah.
I think she was done as Lara Croft once that second one was made. She was like, we're
yeah.
not going to
Didn't make any more.
Don't do no more. No. So Lara Croft, Cradle of Life was that one.
Second one
is, well, number 4, Prince of Persia.
Prince of Persia, yeah.
Now,
you think they'd learn their lesson by now about making bad films from games, but no.
Some games they've got a narrative that will make a story. That was just basically the characters put into a mess. Just a mess. It was mainly a special effects film, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
Poor special effects film, but it was special effects film.
Yeah. And the lead actor fired his entourage. Well, not his entourage, his casting network or whatever it is. What's his name?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah. He apparently fired all his crew.
In fairness, though, he was bored as well.
He probably wasn't just feeling it. But this film's going to be a bit.
He just fired himself.
Yeah,
I'm going to fire you, and me.
Yeah, we're all fired. I'm fired. Let's just fire.
It was poor. And your favourite one was in as well, Gemma Arterton. She wasn't great either, was she?
No. In fact, that leads us on to another one later on.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Number 3, DOA.
DOA.
Or Dead or Alive.
Well, let's say don't spray. Tongue-in-cheek kind of film. I think they knew it was going to be a bit, because the game itself is very tongue-in-cheek with over-exaggerated physics, shall we say?
Yeah.
In the ladies' departments, and so obviously they thought the film could be a bit tongue-in-cheek. Fighting in the rain and sand in bikinis.
I think it went a bit beyond tongue-in-cheek, though, wasn't it?
It just made it awful in the end.
Bad.
Yeah.
It was just bad.
So let's make it tongue-in-cheek and funny, and no, let's make it bad.
Let's make it bad. We won't talk about that anymore.
No.
The other one is Street Fighter, which
Street
as much
Fighter.
as it's a bad
Down.
one, as much as it's a bad one,
It can be a guilty pleasure.
when it's on, if I'm flicking through and it's there, I have to play
I
it
kind
on.
of watch it. Kylie Minogue and some of the other casting were like first time.
Some of the
actors.
some of the characters though, they just went right. You look at Blanca, and it reminded me of
The way they even created them was
awful. But no, what I did hate to do most, the look of them. Because round about the same time, I don't know if you can remember, there was a series of Tango adverts that came out.
That's right, yeah.
And there was one where was this baldy bloke who slapped him in
I found a picture
of the image, but there was another one with a monster had no legs, wasn't it? Remember? And then this blue hair, it was bright orange, and that's what Blanca looked like, but the colours were different.
Yeah, it looked green.
He looked awful. He looked absolutely awful. See, in the game, he had fangs, he was big, he was muscly.
Yeah.
In here, the character who played him, they just had a little bit of prosthetics, painted him green, and put a big orange wig on him.
Yeah, it was like they got the Hulk, sucked all the air out of him, and put a wig on him.
But the Hulk, which was made in, the late 70s, early 80s, looked 10 times better than Blanca did.
Yeah. Could put a wig on him. That would have worked.
It looked absolutely awful. I remember when he come out, I was thinking, so now he's saying green, when's he going to turn into Blanca?
So I'll tell you about some of the most wooden dialogue and acting in a film by the most actors. It should break a record for that or something.
And the other thing I didn't get with it as well is it went like so far out with some of the characters, like the way it was, but then it started to ground some characters and say, well, we can't really do that the way they are because people wouldn't believe it. Like Dalton was a doctor, and then all of a sudden, I didn't get it. It had nothing to do with Street Fighter character.
No. He was supposed to be into voodoo and all sorts.
Yeah, it was nothing like that.
I think one of the things that really got me was the way Zangief just goes. And then at the very end, Gal just goes. This is not a spoiler, by the way. Guy just goes. He goes.
No, the worst part of it is. That's what I think of.
That's the worst part.
Every time I watch that film, and Jean-Claude goes. It just totally takes it out to the
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
You know what? We're slagging it off, but when I go home, I'm gonna watch it.
I feel like watching it myself.
It's so bad, it's funny.
Yeah.
And the one we've got was probably for the worst one.
Is this that one?
Yeah.
Alright, I've gone through it.
Mario Brothers.
Oh. I think we mentioned that.
We mentioned on another film, on another video, wasn't it?
I finally have time to slate it now.
Yeah, we only sort of skimmed over it last time.
Because I remember saying it's such a waste of talent. That's the casting.
John Leguizamo in there.
Yeah. Dennis Hopper.
Bob Hoskins. Who I wrongly called Rutger Hauer in the last video with it.
That must have been a long Good Friday for him, that one. It just. Oh.
It was nothing in that.
Nothing like the game.
It was not. I was just going to say, wow, it wasn't Mario Brothers. It had
Mario.
nothing to do with Mario at all.
They had weird dinosaur effects in it because they could do it. They thought, oh, Jurassic Park was big, let's do dinosaurs. Even though I know dinosaurs are in sort of Mario, but Yoshi,
that's it. He's young dinosaur.
But they like tiny. Oh, let's make it Jurassic Park style, so people think it's not Jurassic
Just let's throw some CGI and show off a little bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean we have spoken about this briefly on another video. I can't remember which one.
See, you get films that are so bad they're good. This was just so bad it was bad. You wouldn't want to watch it. You can't laugh at it. It's not even funny. It's awful. It's just awful.
The setting's wrong. Everything just feels wrong about the whole thing.
Well, if you look at Mario Brothers, the game has this bright, colourful. Yeah. This bright, colourful world.
Bright, colourful world. Yeah. With pipes.
Yeah, bright Mario.
It was dark, dingy, everyone looked depressed. And there's people everywhere, there's not people everywhere in the game. And I can understand them saying we need to make it more of a film and it can't look like that. But don't make it then. Yeah.
Just don't make it. Well, if you're going to make it CGI, make a computer generated one like a Toy Story.
Or make a different film.
Yeah.
That's before Toy Story.
Just before, wasn't it? Before I had a year or two before. It was just awful. Didn't need to be made. Needs to be erased from existence.
Although I'd probably watch it if it was on.
I wouldn't. It's not a Street Fighter for me. I wouldn't watch it at all. So we get on to our good ones.
Yeah, now. Okay, good ones. So this is game adaptation, game to film, good.
So number 5, one we've already mentioned.
Anyway, it's our personal opinion.
Tomb Raider,
yeah, the first one. Good attempt, made it well, got the right feel, like I said. The action.
Angelina Jolie was really good as well.
English accent wasn't too bad either. Chris Barry as the butler. I met him at Comic-Con. Fantastic guy. He talked about a few scenes in that, which was interesting.
Yeah,
shower scene.
I do like that film. I did like that film as well. Obviously topped off with a cracking song by U2.
Of course, yeah.
Elevation.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Number 4 is Mortal Kombat. What's in Mortal Kombat?
Well, the original Mortal Kombat film it's not the best film ever, but as adaptations go, it's very faithful.
I can remember watching it, and it was a long time ago. It must be knocking on 20 years ago now. I can't remember much of it. I've only ever seen it once.
Yeah. Well.
I think it's one of the films only gets a one watching, doesn't it? Really.
It's good. The sequels are terrible. They could probably go on some of the honourable mentions as the terrible ones, but the first one, as Mortal Kombat film go, you can't do much with it, but they did alright with it, and it's watchable. It's good.
The fact that it was, you could make, if it didn't have the word Mortal Kombat in the title, you could work out that it was Mortal Kombat. That helps, doesn't it? Yeah. Whereas in Mario Brothers, if it wasn't called Mario Brothers, I wouldn't know what the hell it was.
Yeah, good point, yeah. Okay,
next one is Hitman. Hitman was okay.
Yeah, this is not the new one that's coming out soon. This is the original.
With it, Oliphants.
Yeah.
One of the best names ever.
It's got a good first name. I actually enjoyed that film. Thought it was good.
I know I
quite like the games.
It got slated quite a bit.
It got a bit of a turn down, and the critics didn't really make much money, but I thought it was alright.
Critics aren't always right. They're not always right.
Neither are we.
Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, the first one.
I really enjoyed that, the first
That's
one.
the second one.
I really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. We've spoke about this one again in another video, but I thought it was very faithful to the game or games.
So they took place over.
Merges a couple of games together. They got Pyramid Head really spot on, I thought.
Yeah.
And the feel and the look of it again just really fits the feel of the game. The sound is fantastic in it. The look of the nurses without the faces is brilliant.
Well, the best compliment I can play it when it comes to a film that wasn't a good game is when you finish the film, you want to play the game afterwards. Yeah. And that was probably when we finished playing. I want to play Silent Hill now. Yeah.
That's where you watch the film. I think I'll play the game, but I'd rather just play Mario rather than watch Mario.
Yeah. Right, and our best one that we both think is the Street Fighter anime series. The manga
version. Yeah, which I own, thankfully.
Completely different from the live action film.
Very different. More around the proper storyline of the actual characters in the game, and looks like them as well.
Looks like them, yeah.
Yeah. It's very good the way it ties in a lot of the characters. Actually, it's good. It centres a lot around Ryu.
And there's fighting in it. It's actually it's the actual Street Fighters in there was no fighting in Street Fighter. Yeah. So
we've kind of what we've done is we've merged most of the Street Fighter films.
Because they're all of a good standard, I would say the manga ones. They're all
the mangas are all right, and then we've got the live action. There's a new live action Street Fighter. It's out on Netflix at the moment, which I've watched, and it's actually not too bad. My criticism would be is that Ken's wig or hairdo looks absolutely awful. However, getting past that, the film is quite enjoyable. Although it doesn't really centre on Ryu and Ken as the main actors, it's more the story of their master and how Akuma becomes Akuma. If you know your Street Fighter games.
Well, I've not seen it, so I couldn't any comments on it, but I think I may give it a watch now this week.
Yeah, go for it. It's actually not too bad, but there's not that much fighting in it. In fact, I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, wait till the end.
Street.
It should be just called Training Fighting Street, based on the Street Fighter game. That'll be the title for it.
It's training.
Yeah, because that's all it is. It's them training. They do spar with each other now and then, and that's about it. But they're concentrating more on their techniques and how to do Hadoukens and all that sort of stuff, and training how to do uppercuts and all that. So yeah, it's called Street Fighter, but without the fighting. More the training.
Well, that question was from Biggs and Tiggs, and then on Twitter. They've also got their own YouTube channel.
Great, okay, we'll put a link for them.
Yeah. And they do a fantastic video talking about the old 90s Turtles, which
oh right,
it's worth giving them a look.
Really? Okay, okay. There
So,
you go.